whatever we have been doing it before. So we were in the process of solving the root locus. So when so you can just go through the things whatever we have done before. In previous class we have plotted the circular plot and we obtained this one. So you can see that we have the breakaway points and break-in point. So the breakaway and break-in points have been plotted. So we have obtained these values in the class, and we can just mark those values and draw this graph. Okay. So these were the things which were discussed before. Let me go today with a new problem. We can just you can just take up this problem, a negative feedback
Sir,
control system.
excuse me, sir, it's not visible, sir. PDF.
Yeah, yeah, one second. One second. Now it is visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, fine. We will continue further. So we have been we have been solving problems on root locus. No, so this problem you can take up, that is negative feedback control system is characterized by g of s h of s is equal to k divided by s into s plus 1 into s plus 2 into s plus 3. So you can just note down this function g of s h of s. So we are going to consider a negative feedback control system, and g of s h of s is equal to k divided by s into s plus 1 into s plus 2 into s plus 3. Now the root locus plot for the values k ranging from 0 to infinity, and we need to mark all the salient points on the root locus. So we have to uh, mark all these points. So let us take up this problem. First, we have to solve for k by s into s plus 1 into s plus 2 into s plus 3. So let us see that. So make a note of this problem. So as you have been solving problems on root locus, now first thing is that let us take the poles and zeros to find out first. So the uh, so we can take up g of s h of s is equal to k divided by s into s plus 1 into s plus 2 into s plus 3. So as you have solved problems before, you can do it a bit faster. So when you take s, you will get s is equal to 0, s plus 1 is equal to 0, so s is equal to minus 1, s plus 2 is equal to 0, s is equal to minus 2, and s plus 3 is equal to 0, s is equal to minus 3. So you get how many poles and how many zeros here?
Zero, zero, sir.
Zero zeros and
Four poles.
4 poles, correct. So we get 0 zeros and 4 poles. So step 1 is plot the poles and zeros of g of s h of s on the s plane, and k is equal to 0. The points are s is equal to 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, and k is equal to k is equal to infinity. So you get 4 poles here, and you obtain 1 0 0. So now you can just see that how many branches will be there So how to find out the number of branches? Whichever is maximum. So compared to the poles and zeros, whichever is maximum. So you have four poles and 0, 0. So you can write the statement there. The branch of the root locus starts on the pole and ends at the 0. So these statements we have seen before as well. So how many branches will be there in this problem? How many branches will be there? See, I have told you that we need to find out the number of poles and number of zeros, and you need to see that whichever is greater. So whether the number of poles is greater or number of zeros is greater, whichever is greater. So here, which one is greater? So here in this problem, you know that there are four poles, and so the number of branches also will be because compared to comparing by 0 and poles, number of zeros and poles, you have maximum is 4, so you should have 4 branches. So that will be step 4. So you can write step 4 as well. Make a note of all these things. You can solve step by step. So each step is important. So the number of branches, you will get it as 4. So you can write as step 4. The number of branches of the root locus is equal to pole or 0, number of poles or 0, whichever is greater. So here the if poles are 4, number of poles are 4 and number of 0 is 0. So you know that number of poles is greater than number of zeros, and you know that it is number of poles is 4. So there should be 4 branches. So that's why you need to write that number of branches will be equal to 4. So complete it. After that we will move on to the next steps. Here you have to find the centroid and all those things. So that will be step number 6. So step 5, you know that a point on the real axis lie on the root locus if the number of singularities to the right of the point are odd. So that is step 5. The point on the real axis on the root locus, if the number of singularities to the right of the point are odd, so we get it as that. And further, so all these steps we have completed. So here till now we have just found the number of poles, number of zeros, and also identified the poles and zeros. So once you complete it, we can start plotting one by one step. So we will see that how the plot goes with. Okay. Have we completed till step 5? Shall we move on to step 6?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you got all this pole zeros, number of poles, number of zeros, then number of branches, and you also find that the point of the real axis lies on the root locus if the number of singularities to the right of the point are odd. So all these steps you have obtained. Next you have to find out the number of asymptotes. So you can find out that the number of asymptotes is equal to pole number of poles minus number of zeros, that is 4 minus 0, that is equal to 4. So centroid of the asymptote is given as sigma A, that is summation of finite poles minus summation of finite zeros divided by pole minus 0. So what you are going to get, you are going to take the summation of poles and summation of zeros. So you know that the poles are 0, minus 1, minus 2 and minus 3. So take the sum of all the poles, and you know that there is no zeros, so it is 0, and also you know that pole minus 0, that is 4 minus 0. So when you simplify that, you will get it as minus 1.5. So you got the number of asymptotes. You should understand that there are 4 asymptotes in this, and you have to find out the centroid where the asymptotes are placed, so that you get it as sigma A is equal to minus 1.5. So the angle made by the asymptote, you have to see that the angle made by the asymptotes, that is phi A. Use the equation phi A, that is 2q plus 1 into 180 degree divided by pole minus 0. So you can use this equation to find out the angle made by the asymptotes. So you can do step-by-step process so that there will be no confusion for you. So when you found out the centroid, indicates that the point at which you have to draw the asymptote. So you got it as minus 1.5, and at this point you have to draw the asymptotes, and number of asymptotes is given as p minus z, that is number of poles minus number of 0, that 4 minus 0, you got it as 4. And sigma A, that is centroid, you can find by adding the poles and also taking the summation of the zeros. So here, as you know that there is no zeros available, so you put it as 0 itself. You have 4 poles available at 0, minus 1, minus 2 and minus 3. Summation of that is that also you will get it as 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 0 divided by pole minus 0, that is 4 minus 0, you get it as, when you simplify that, you get it as minus 1.5. Once you calculate the centroid, now you have to find out the angle made by the asymptote. So what are the values of q you are going to take here?
0, 1, 2, 3, sir.
Yeah, you have to find for 0, 1, 2 and 3. So each value of q, you will get 4 different angles. You have to find out the 4 different angles, and you need to simplify it further. So any one of you got the angles?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what are those angles? 4 angles?
45 degree, 135 degree, 225 and 315 degrees.
Yeah, very good. So you'll get 45 degree, 135 degree, 225 degree and 315 degrees. So all these 4 angles you will get. So what you understand here is, at these 4 angles you need to plot the asymptotes, and the asymptote should be started from minus 1.5. So you should put a point 1 minus 1.5. So let me just take you to the figure. So when you see that, all of you have completed this. Have you all completed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So we will take it further. So you can just start plot it, as you know that I have marked the poles, that is 0, minus 1, minus 2 and minus 3. I have plotted all the poles there. I have also plotted the centroid. What is my centroid? It is minus 1.5. So I have plotted my centroid. So it is at minus 1.5. You can see that sigma A is equal to minus 1.5. Then I have the angles 45, 135, 225 and 315. So let me take the angles 45. I got asymptote 1, A is 1. Let me take the angle 135. I got the asymptote 2, and let me take the angle 315 and 225. So 225, I got this asymptote 3, and for the last angle 315, I'll get the asymptote 4. So I got all the 4 asymptotes, and then we are going to simplify it further. So this is the real axis root locus, and so this we have marked there. This is called as the real axis root locus, and you have also plotted the centroid, and you have drawn the asymptotes 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you can complete it. So all of you should have a protractor and take the angle properly and then draw it. Okay. So once you complete it, you can complete that. Let us go to the next step. The root locus, we know that the root locus is always symmetrical with respect to the real axis. So you need to make sure that the root locus is drawn. This is the real axis, and the root locus is drawn symmetrical to the real axis. So all of you can just plot it. Still it is not completed. You have to complete all the steps. You have to find out all the points. So 7th step, you can see that it has to be symmetrical with respect to real axis. So that is one of the thing what you can observe in root locus. It will be symmetrical to the real axis. So what is next? You need to find out the breakaway point. You need to find out the breakaway point. So you need to do all those, you have to take g of s, h of s, and do it. So 1 plus g of s, h of s you have to take, and you have to equate it to 0. So that is called as the characteristic equation. So to find out the breakaway point, you have to take the characteristic equation and find the breakaway point. So 1 plus g of s, h of s is equal to 0. So all of you might have completed this plot. This is quite simple. When you are plotting in your book, you take the specific distance between 0, -1, -2, and -3, so that your plot will look uniform. So we are going to find the breakaway point. So we got the characteristic equation 1 plus g of s, h of s is equal to 0. So I am going to substitute g of s, h of s. So I get it as 1 plus k divided by 1 plus k divided by s into s plus 1 into s plus 2 into s plus 3 is equal to 0. So we get this 1 plus k divided by s into s plus 1 into s plus 2 into s plus 3 is equal to 0. And then we have to find the equation. So when I solve it further, you can complete the solution. When we solve it further, we get it as k is equal to minus s raised to 4 minus 6s cube minus 11s square minus 6s is equal to k. So k is equal to minus s raised to 4 minus 6s cube minus 11s square minus 6s you will get. So to find out the breakaway point, you know that you have to take dk by ds is equal to 0. So you can do for dk by ds is equal to 0. So when you go for dk by ds is equal to 0, you can do that. So let me see that what you're going to get. So when you go for dk by ds is equal to 0, so k is minus s to the power of 4 minus 6s cube minus 11s square minus 6s. So let us take the differentiation. So we will get dk by ds. So when you do that, you'll get 4s raised to 3 plus 18s square plus 22s plus 6 is equal to 0. You can try that. You're getting this equation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what next has to be done? You have got 4s cube plus 18s square plus 22s plus 6 is equal to 0. You need to find the roots of the equation. So you can try it in the calculator or you can solve it. You can get the roots of the equation. Any one of you got the roots of the equation? So when you take this equation and find the roots of the equation, we will get it as these are the roots which we obtained. S is equal to minus 0.382 minus 2.618 and minus 1.5. So from this three roots, you have to also observe that where is your poles located? 0 and minus 1, minus 2 and minus 3. So you have to see that single odd number of with respect to the right side. All those things you have to see, and you have plotted all these things. Now further you have to see how these points are to be located. So minus 0.382 minus 2.618 and minus 1.5. So the root s is equal to minus 1.5 does not lie on the root locus, hence is not a breakaway point. The value of k is s is equal to so what you can observe here is the root locus the root s is equal to minus 1.5. So you can see that s is equal to minus 1.5 will come here, this point. So whether there is a root locus available? No, it is between 0 and minus 1 and minus 2 and minus 3. So here the 1.5 comes there. So what you can write there, it does not lie on the root locus. You should specifically write that the s is equal to minus 1.5 does not lie on the root locus, and hence is not a breakaway point. So we can rule out this 1.5 since it does not lie on the root locus. So then what you have to see, you have other points as well. So let us go with other points. The value of k at s is equal to minus 1.5 is, so when you substitute and find out the value of k, when you come out with the value of k at s is equal to 1.5 after substitution, you will get it as minus 0.5625, means you have to substitute here k is equal to minus s raised to 4 minus 6. So when you substitute and find out, you will get it as minus 0.5625. So we are just specifying that when it is when s is equal to minus 1.5 does not lie on the root locus and it cannot be a breakaway point, as well as when you find the value of s at minus 1.5, k value of k at minus s at minus 1.5, you get it as minus 0.5625. And from that what you can write is the value of k at the breakaway point cannot be negative. So that is also one conclusion you can write for that. So this further confirms that s is equal to minus 1.5 cannot be a breakaway point. So you have ruled out that minus 1.5. You need to write the statements clearly, and now you have so this minus 1.5 is taken it out. You have the points s is equal to minus 0.382 as well as minus 2.618. So what we can write, we have to check it out here. Minus 0.3. So minus 0.3 lies on the root real axis root locus between, that is between 0 and minus 1. It lies somewhere here. And the next point is minus 2.6. So that also lies between minus 2 and minus 3. That is, it lies in the real axis root locus. So what you can say that, so these points can be considered. So the two breakaway points are S is equal to minus 0.386382 and S is equal to minus 2.618. So you can find out the value of K at these breakaway points. So you can substitute in the equation for K and find out the value of K at S is equal to minus 0.382 as well as when S is equal to minus 2.618. So when we do the calculation, substituting S is equal to minus 0.382, finding the value of K, as I have done before, I have told you before, to just substitute here, you need to substitute minus 0.382 raised to 4 minus 6 into 0 minus 0.382 raised to 3, etc. And all those substitutions, when you do it, it comes, the value comes to be 1. You can do that. Similarly, you have to do for minus 2.618 as well. So we are finding out the value of K at these breakaway points. So similarly, you can complete this problem by finding out the value of K at minus 2.618. So have you completed till here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you got it as 1. So what is the another value? Any value got for the other one? So when you substitute the further and find at S is equal to minus this value, you will again get it as 1. So for both the values, you got the value of K as 1. So now one more few steps, like you have seen that the intersection point on the j omega axis and values of K of closed loop system is what you can say that the closed loop system stability. So you need to find out the omega value and all those things so that you can plot it in the graph. So you have to substitute S is equal to j omega, and you have to wherever S is there, substitute as j omega, that is equal to 0, and you know the value of K as you can just take these terms together. So this will be real term and this comes as to be imaginary. So you have to equate it as we have done in the previous problem, same method, okay. So you get the values of omega. So you can try that, you can solve it, you will get this is equal to 0 as well as this is equal to 0. When you simplify that omega not equal to 0, you know that, so when K is equal to, you'll get it as K is equal to 10 and omega is equal to plus or minus 1 radians per second. So this is what you get, and when you plot it, you will get the plot like this. We can discuss this plot once again. You solve all these things and try to plot it. If you have any confusions, we'll discuss in the upcoming class, okay. So this is what you will get it. So you need to find out the value of omega as well as value of K, and you need to plot it, plot the graph for that. So we will find that at the when closed loop system is to be stable, we will get it as at 0 less than K less than 10, and thus the system is called as conditionally stable. So we can plot this, all those things whatever you have completed, we get omega as plus or minus 1. So plot that value omega. So you can see here I have put plus 1 and minus 1. You have to draw with the free hands, and here also you have these values, breakaway points. So you need to draw with free hands, which has to go parallel to the asymptotes. So this is what you will get. I'll get back to you with this problem again. Okay. Thank you. We'll wind up for
Thank you,
today.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.